It is NFP week, ladies and gentlemen, and you already know that we're about to obliterate the market. Now, taking a look at our account that we took from $50 throughout to $500 in just 24 hours. Yes, it's currently sitting at $800, but it has 3 trades running in loss. Now I can explain. First of all, I am a day trader. I want to find my trades on a daily basis. I always go onto my charts to look for trades every single day. And it is really rare for me to actually hold my trades over the weekend. But simply because I cannot predict the market, whatever it gives to me, I have to just accept. Someone once said that a reminder is actually the best teacher. And the more time you repeat something, the more you're actually good at it. Just after I finished recording that $50 account, the market presented itself to me with a really perfect setup that I think a lot of you beautiful traders have seen throughout most of my videos, and I am already used to this setup. I wanted to redo my analysis to make sure I'm actually going into a trade with really good confirmation. So I started off from the daily time frame. I went down to the 4-hour time frame. I saw that the market did want to break out. I dropped to the 1-hour time frame. It closed on the 1-hour time frame, and the candlestick that I was about to trade was the one that was retracing. And on the 15-minute time frame, you can clearly see that it had closed a little bit outside, and the next candle was retracing. But on the 5-minute time frame, we were having a build up. I did say in a lot of videos, whenever you see a build up at a support or at a resistance level, it doesn't matter what kind of support or resistance, there is a high chance that the market is going to break out of that support or a resistance level and actually continue favoring the overall trend. And just because I say this over and over again in most of my videos, it doesn't leave my head. Whenever I just see a trade that looks like this, I already know what's about to actually happen. So I actually took 2 trades on Nasdaq, wanting to ride the momentum because I could clearly see that this was such a perfect trade. Obviously, when I take a trade, I also update the team. I did tell them that it's about to be a swing trade, so meaning that we're not going to trade it for one day. We actually might hold the trade for a couple of days if the market does not show us good momentum on this very same day. So going over into the next day, I woke up really early. Okay, it's not so early, but it was around 8 o'clock when I woke up to actually check my charts, and much to my surprise, I was sitting at $1,000 in equity. So I did a little quick analysis trying to see if I could actually just close my trades, if there's a potential of the trades to reverse, so I could take partial profits and actually hold one trade, or if I could actually add more positions, as you should do, because remember, the market is always forming new setups as it actually moves. And yes, of course, you can clearly see that the inner circle was well fed. We do have plus 160 pips from our Nasdaq trade. So with a very good consideration that the market might go back down, I decided to close 2 of my trades and left 1 trade run. And in this case, I did not put my stop loss into profit because I did not want the market to hit my stop loss and then continue with the upward movement, because it did break a major zone, so it means it's still continuing with the trend. I just left my stop loss where it was and decided to just hold 1 single trade. So, and behold, you can clearly see that the market dropped back down, and that gave me an opportunity to add 3 more trades, as I was actually thinking that it's now continuing with its bullish momentum. That was just a little retest, and at this point my account was sitting at $800 in balance and $1,200 equity. Remember though that this account was actually a $50 account. Fast forward to Friday, the market did not actually keep pushing up to the top. You can see that it did push a little bit to around about this zone and formed this little resistance level that it has over here, and then now went back to my entry a little bit and started playing around, leaving me currently sitting at minus $67. Yo, which actually brings us to our weekly analysis, and the burning question here is, will I end up closing with a loss, or will the market push up to the top and make profit, right? To make matters worse, it is NFP week. We have NFP on Friday and super excited. But before we talk about all of that, if you are new to the channel, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know what's up. Don't forget to hit the like button, turn on your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Click and right onto these charts. So with the whole explaining that I've already done, you can clearly see that yes, I am still bullish on the Nasdaq, and I'm going to explain the reasons using technical analysis for now. But you already know that the fundamentals are playing a major role. You know, we had the rates that were cut last week, if not last week but one, I don't remember when they cut the rates, but fundamentals are actually playing a major role in this market, right? But from a technical point of view, you can clearly see that we had a resistance right over here. A resistance was broken out, it has turned turned into a support, and the market perhaps just wants to come back and retest that resistance. It wants to retest it and actually keep going in the direction. Now there are two things that can actually happen. It can successfully retest the resistance, or it can just not do it, right, and keep going back lower, right? So obviously we would want to cater for those things. Like if it does not actually retest and decides to go back lower, what are we going to do, right? We'll pull up our trend line right over here, right? We have it like this. So remember that this is going to be a really volatile week. The market is going to be moving with so much momentum, so you want to be actually very careful in this market. So we do have a trend line like this. There is a chance that the market might reject this and actually want to come back to this zone, and then if it does, that's a very obvious trade, right? We probably want to look for buying positions as it does. So you already know that it's not actually just going to drop like this, because the market never does what? Exactly. Comment that down below as usual. I did see all of those comments from the previous video, and I was super excited that you're actually paying attention and listening to everything, right? So over here you can see that the market will never move like this. You can never see it moving like this unless it's a news event, right? So it might actually just move playing around like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then it will get to the trend line, and then it will trap a lot of people thinking that it's going to buy from here, and then it will just drop back down to sit at this level, and then we'll buy, continue with the buying movement, right? So that's said and done. This is for like the overall thingy, right? And then if it actually decides to reject at the spot right now, probably use this little zone right over here to reject, right? It will come now and sit at this level. The one that I actually wanted it to sit on before it reversed on me, you can see that the little reversal right down like this. So I want it to come to this level, and then at this level I obviously don't want to look for buying positions. This is going to be my take profit, because you know that we can see selling activity probably stepping in at these zones, right? You know that the sellers might want to actually step in at this level and actually, you know, fake out or something like that. But if it now sits at this zone, we'll now wait for a breakout of this you know, high, because this is the highest of all times. We'll now wait for a break out of it, and then, you know, we'll actually capitalize on that. So now that is an overall view on the higher time frame, right? But then you can't trade the higher time frame like that, you know, with really small amounts of capital, right? Let's just reduce the time frame and see what the market is saying on the 4-hour time frame, right? So clearly on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that it's still sitting at the spot where it rejected out of, right? So that's a good thing. So we're considering the fact that it might retest that level, or it might fail to retest. So now you can see that there's a lot of institutional activity in this market, right? And I don't like that. It's not really clear that what do they actually want to do. So we're gonna pull up a trend line. You know that we draw a trend line week to week, body to body. So my week to my week right over here. Someone else would want to actually draw their trend line like this, and then say that it is a break and a retest. Now I personally wouldn't draw like that. I would want to draw it like this, right? So I can see that the market might actually want to come into this level. So remember this zone right over here. I have a lot of possible buying zones in this market at this spot, right? So it can currently actually buy at the level where it is, but considering the stop loss that you would actually have to use for the trade, it won't be a really good trade, right? Because you have to put a stop loss at a level that if the market gets to that point, you're actually wrong on that trade. So now if you put a stop loss in here or inside any of this zone, and then if the market hits that stop loss, it is not a wrong trade. It doesn't mean that it was a wrong trade, because there is a chance that the market can actually come and hit, you know, outside here. That's probably where your stop loss would be. So now the best thing you actually have to do here, if you're not in the trade, is to actually just wait for the perfect setup, right? So right over here, there's a chance that the market can reverse at this level. There's also a chance that it can drop out and reverse at this level. Now, not forgetting this zone right over here. This zone right over here is institutional money sitting right at this level. So there's a chance that the market can actually still come back down. Now, these chances that the market will drop lower are higher than it actually just going back to the top. Now, because of the many levels that we have here that the market can actually buy from, I would personally want to wait for the last one, because the first and the second ones, the market would want to just trap a lot of people, right? So this being the last level, let's see what it looks like on the daily time frame, right? Remember this part that I did talk about, right? So this is exactly where we'll be right over here. Now this is too big. Let me just reduce it a little bit, something like this. It's actually still too big, but then you get the point, right? The point is we want to try and trade in this zone right here. This is a zone that we would actually want to trade from. So on the 4-hour time frame, yes, it does look a little tricky, but then we have to wait for the market to drop first, and then this is the best place I would actually want to look for buying positions in this level, even though I'm not hoping for that to happen because I do have trades and that can put a little threat on my account. I'll probably have to just close them a little early if I see the sellers stepping in with really large momentum right over here, right? But if it does eventually just start pushing up from the level where it is, right, we would obviously want to start by buying it, right? So if we're trading on a smaller time frame, wanting to just scalp, you know the usual strategy. If we break out of these zones, we want to scalp it to the next level right over here, and etc., right? But that's about it on the Nasdaq for this week. We're super excited for NFP, and I'll be updating each and every single one of you guys in the free Telegram group. If you're not in it, check the link in the description below and join it so you can benefit from the setups that I actually drop in this group. But if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you in the next lit video. Peace.